Hello, my beautiful, intelligent people. Thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. If you do want a free reading, I'm going to give away 2 as soon as I hit 11,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's gotten me as far as I have. So I appreciate you all. Today we are asking, what do you need to know right now? Also, if you make sure that if you do want to be part of the giveaway, make sure that you are subscribed and you comment. That being said, what do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now, pile number 1? What does the gorgeous and talented pile number 1 need to know? Oh, 4 of Cups. You are going to have to make sure that you don't miss something. Because there is something that either you may face some kind of rejection, or you may be paying attention to some things that aren't the right thing to pay attention to. So a golden opportunity might pass you by. Oh, and this is going to be a big deal because we have a Tower and we have a King of Pentacles. We have a King of Pentacles and a King of Wands. This could be about pursuing passion and being able to make it into something that is profitable. But we also have the Tower, so like there might be, if there is a focus on the wrong thing, there could be some kind of foundational issue that comes up. So I think that there is a need to pay attention, I think that there's some kind of need to pay attention to like a big picture issue that you could get distracted from. But don't get distracted because it is something that could affect you in a intense way. So I think I'm going to clarify the 4 of Cups first, because I feel like that's the fulcrum of avoiding the Tower. We have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands can be about communicating about your passions. It can be about being a little bit idealistic. It's also like, be careful of potentially being naive about something. Yeah. Be careful of potentially being naive about something. Because if you don't pay attention to the red flags, you might deal with some serious issue. Oh, 5 of Cups. Yeah. So, there is a need to make sure that you are not passing up important opportunities. You're not avoiding paying attention to red flags. Like, you know, deciding that those red flags don't matter, maybe because you're feeling optimistic. I feel like if you're coming against red flags, or you know, like, they're probably there for a reason. For you, if this isn't about you, like, really deciding to go after what you want, you may need to be concerned about a charismatic person. Because just because somebody's likable doesn't mean that they're... Oh, we have the 4 of Pentacles clarifying that. So you need to be careful, because there is somebody that is all about... somebody who's very charismatic, very likable, exciting. This doesn't have to be in a romantic sense. This could be in a financial sense. This could be in a friendship sense. But this is somebody that has all that charisma, but this person is not necessarily about giving to other people. This person is about keeping. This person, like, so if there's somebody incredibly charismatic, but, you know, you end up, like, not actually really receiving a lot out of the situation, there's maybe a need to stop thinking it's going to turn out and pay attention, because we have something catastrophically falling apart and regret. Clarity on the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. So the King of Pentacles, like, this is something that is much more steady, much more stable, much more reliable, and this is the cup that might not be taken. This is the cup that might be ignored, but it is the cup that will give you an emotional new beginning and greater stability. So let's get some clarity here. What do you need to know right now, pile number one? What do you need to know right now? Two of Swords. It looks like you have to make a decision, and you don't have a completely clear mind. Because the Two of Swords, like, the eyes are closed. We have two thoughts, but those thoughts don't necessarily jibe with each other. And they kind of, like, cut us off from our heart space. So I feel like there's a need to get some clarity before there is something that you will regret. Especially regarding people who are very charming but out for their self-interest. Because I feel like that could have some catastrophic consequences, and the King of Wands came to clarify that again. Now, I mean, it could mean that this is a masculine person, but I feel like this is just somebody that is very charismatic, might have some kind of authority. But I feel like you should be wary of that, especially if, in practical terms, you don't receive things. Knight of Swords. I feel like there is a logical action that can be taken that can avoid serious problems. Clarity on the Ace of Cups. We have the Four of Coins. So we have the Four of Coins, which is holding back too much, holding on too tightly. And I almost feel like this is somebody that holds back too much because they don't want to give. And I feel like there's, like, holding on too tightly. I feel like sometimes the way to the greatest stability is, like, being willing to let the things that need to go, and be willing to let good things flow towards you. With the Four of Pentacles, people who are in the Four of Pentacles energy, like, they do want abundance, but they are more afraid of loss, and it brings about like a greed, an unwillingness to release, an unwillingness to give. It could also be holding on to something that is unhealthy so that you do not have the opportunity to to allow something in that is healthy. So Be careful about what you're holding on to, and be wary of people who are not generous with you. Generosity doesn't need to be monetary generosity. It can be generosity with time, generosity with affection. But there's some potential blocks here. And quick action will be able, it's like this is not necessarily a catastrophe yet, but there is a need to focus on the right thing instead of something that will ultimately lead to disappointment. Excuse me. Sometimes it's a lot of little steps that get us there. Now, this could be about a couple things. This could be about, making sure that... Because I see, something that is emotionally satisfying, something that could be, unfortunately, ignored because of other things that are being paid attention to. But I feel like pay attention, maybe even to people's small actions towards you. Sometimes people will be over the top, but not around when things actually matter, or awful in the little things. Or again, this doesn't necessarily mean somebody who's romantic. This can mean, somebody who has this wonderful idea, but it might cost you money, and this person might just be all flash and no stability. So I feel like there is a need to invest in the stable here. We have victory, we have moving forward. So there is a chance for you to have victory, for you to have success. It might require you getting out of your own way. Alien, accept that you are unrepeatable, spectacular, that you are a unrepeatable, spectacular phenomenon. You're awesome. There isn't anybody who can fill the space that you're capable of filling. We have a be fearless. Because again, that Four of Pentacles, that character is holding on because they don't want to lose. That comes from a place of fear. But I see success. I see a need to be fearless, a need to allow yourself to have a new emotional new beginning. And I see a need to pay attention to something before it becomes a catastrophe. Sorry, I got really intense there, so I apologize. I feel like I need to pull one more card with it. It's fertility. So know that there is abundance available for you. Know that perhaps you will be able to create abundance. But I think that you need to be careful at this moment of slick people. Because charming is fun, but it's not necessarily the same as responsible. It's not necessarily the same as something that should be trusted. It says sometimes it's the little things, and now we have little baby steps. So I feel like some things should be dealt with in a step-by-step manner. And this might be a little hard because there might be some optimism, but that optimism might be misplaced. There's an opportunity for clarity, but but take little steps. We have the skull and crossbones. So be careful if some situation seems unhealthy. Okay, we have a sad face and a little wry smile. I feel like sadness, maybe a little bit of 2 wry smiles, 3 wry smiles, and a really sad face. And we had regret earlier. I feel like there is something that you can avoid that, unfortunately, if you don't, will cause a little bit of regret and, well, it will cause regret and sadness. There's a lot. There's like 5 different ones here. 3 wry smiles and 2 sad faces. So I feel like you're going to have an opportunity to avoid some sadness, avoid a potential catastrophe, but you're going to have to choose the more reliable, stable choice. We have kiss. So, I mean, maybe be careful about who you're being intimate with. We have the 2 stars. So there's a connection, something where there can be blessings and wish fulfillment. We have the letter S, the letter G, and the letter B. And we have the little kitten. So what about this little kitten? I mean, it is bringing up a little bit of, oh, and the same Page of Swords that was out came out. I feel like there may be a certain amount of, vulnerability and an adorable idealism. And there's nothing wrong with being idealistic. Sometimes it is necessary. But I think that there's a need to recognize if there is a problem. And, just believing that a problem will fix itself will not keep you from a problem. So you're going to get some kind of offer, and there's going to be some kind of opportunity for you, and you might not take it because you could be focused on something else. Maybe something that seems fun, but it's don't. I'm just really getting like this is a deck of don't ignore the red flags. Don't assume that if you just think good about it, it's going to go away. Because right now you can take some action to avoid a big problem, but if you don't, there's going to be regret. So I hope that this helps you. I deeply appreciate you. If you really feel like it's not your reading, feel free to choose another one. Thank you again. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. If you want a free reading, I'm going to do another one at 11,000 subscribers, so be subscribed and comment and you're in the running. Thank you so much, my gorgeous angels, and it's time for pile number 2. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now, pile number 2? What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Ooh, there's some serious things going on in your life. There are some overarching things, some big deals. 3 cards, 3 major arcana. And we have the 8 of Cups. So we have the Hermit, which is can be about isolation, but it's also about self-knowledge. It's about figuring yourself out. We have a significant point, fulcrum in time, something where you have an opportunity to for your fate to change, for things to move in your favor. We have the opportunity to love and be loved. We have the choice. We have the choices that we make. If this is not a romantic thing, like needing to make choices that are emotionally fulfilling for us and other people. We have 8 of Cups, and 8 of Cups is walking away from people, situations which do not nourish you, which do not put in their end of the work, which do not fulfill you. And it is a scary thing to walk away, because traditionally this character walks into the moon, walks into the night, because they know that behind them they will not be fulfilled, but they have to walk into the darkness. They have to walk into the unknown. Just knowing that they may not know what is in front of them, but they do not know, but they know that they don't want what's behind them. So do not be afraid to do this, because you will be walking into the star, which is wish fulfillment, which is healing, which is the 4th major arcana that I've pulled. So like right now is a big deal for you. Clarity on the Lovers. We have the Page of Swords. Well, I think I misidentified that as the Page of Wands earlier, but it is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is about clear communication. It can be about observation, but I'm really getting, like, especially maybe in relationships, whether they be romantic or not, I feel like there's one thing that is going to be very helpful is very clear communication. Clarity on the Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Pentacles. One of the good luck things that are going to come your way, and I say Wheel of Fortune's not always good luck, but there's enough here to say that it is, with everything around it. Like, and now we have the 2 of Cups. So we have self-knowledge leading to love, leading to happy relationships. And we have the Wheel of Fate turning to have more cooperation, more mastery in our life. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. What does pile number 2 need to know right now? We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is about our ability to use our minds, to be rational. And this is coming over on the same line as the Hermit and the 2 of Cups. This doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with being emotional, but there's also nothing wrong with being rational. It's nothing wrong with using our head, using our earned knowledge, communicating clearly, setting boundaries. So I feel like there is maybe an ability to really learn, really understand yourself and set some clear boundaries that is going to lead to cooperation. And this is going to be part of like better cooperation, better communication, wish fulfillment. Queen of Cups. Again, nothing wrong with the emotional. I think that this is also, it's going to lead to a greater emotional openness and fulfillment, emotional maturity, and the Queen of Coins. So now we have swords, we have cups, we have pentacles. So many areas of your life are open for you to begin to master. But I think that there's some level of wish fulfillment that is going to come through cooperation, through collaboration. But I see an ability to create abundance. I see an ability to use the mind and the heart and build some kind of mastery what do you need to know right now? Pile number 2, what do you need to know right now? Start this week off like an awesome person. So, again, like I think that there's a lot of reason to have confidence in yourself. As long as you are acting from a place of self-knowledge and, like, you know, I see a lot of good things for you. How are they? What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? House, home. Come home to the resonance of your soul's resonance. Realize I was just talking really up high instead of a little bit lower like I usually do. I don't know, maybe there's a lot of energy, but home, house. I feel like there's like a line of you really knowing you, and that really leaning towards more you resonating with what I feel like. The more you resonate with who you really are, the more that you are bringing the right energy towards you. Free spirit. Again, I feel like there has been something that has been unfulfilling for you. And maybe you have spoken clearly. Maybe you do need to set some boundaries, and you know. But I think that there might be a need to, if those boundaries aren't respected, if your needs are not fulfilled, like allowing yourself to be free. Receiving. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. So, Spirit is pretty heavy in your life right now. There's a lot of major arcanas here, which means that there is a greater theme, something bigger going on than just you. Doesn't mean that you're not important. And those can be uncomfortable times. Not because we lose ourself, but because we get to know ourselves a lot better. And then we have to open ourselves to be free and open ourselves to receive. And change, no matter how positive, is difficult. So I think you have a right to feel how awesome you are right now. I mean, keeping, you know, in mind that other people also matter. Like, it should be a balance. But you deserve to receive just as much as it is important for us to give. I feel like there's going to be a great deal of clarity with the Mars charm. There is a need for action. Again, like Mars, I feel like this right now, I think maybe that's why my energy was so high, because Mars is about fire. Mars is about action. Mars is about fighting for things. So we have in what? The Six of Pentacles. Again, equal to, like I said, it's a balance, equal give and take. Being in a place where you are able to be generous with others, where you receive generosity in return. Going from a place in which needs are not met to there being balance and abundance. We have 0. This is where anything can happen. And we have 1, which is about our ability to put our will upon the universe. But we also have 0, 1, so like binary. Whether it's binary code, maybe some of you are in computers. I don't know if this is for everybody, but I've got the letters J, O, and G. So, I mean, obviously, make sure that you're in a safe place to do physical exercise, for health reasons, but, and maybe that's somebody initials, but some of you, like, spirit might be moving you towards maybe doing some more physical activity. Again, this might not be for people who physically can't, but I think for, if you can, I think that's the advice. We have the letter M. So there's another letter. We have like this kind of blank face, not showing. I feel like maybe there's some kind of not showing emotion. And we have divine feminine. There is a lot of power in emotion. It can be hard to show emotion, especially if emotion has been used against you in some way. If having feelings at all has been, treated like a sin, as it is for many people. Sometimes because it's, regardless of whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you're none of the above, there is this aspect of the feminine that is highly linked with that. And even though all human beings have emotion, often emotion is used as an archetype of the feminine. So I feel like because there's like a genuine ability to be happy. So there's nothing wrong with feeling. There's nothing wrong with, again, rationality is important, but so is the emotional realm. And again, to deny it is to deny humanity. For anybody. So we have the dragon, and the dragon is about being powerful. And I feel like you have an opportunity to really embrace your power, to free yourself, to give yourself the ability to move away from things that, don't fulfill you towards things that really do enrich your life. And I think that you need to embrace your strength. Embrace the magicality of you. And maybe that's not a word, but I don't care. And we have the Page of Cups. I feel like on the small scale, there might be a little bit of emotionally starting over, or having to communicate emotions. And maybe feeling like communicating emotions is not fair. And, or not all right. But while we do need to be emotionally mature enough that we're not making every emotion we have somebody else's problem, because that can be emotional but not necessarily to the level of maturity, because sometimes we do have to, ask, is this, I might be feeling this, but is this an actual sensitive thing to say? But I feel like you're gonna have a lot of big things happening, and that you may need to speak with somebody emotionally. And while we can't ensure that everybody will get us on an emotional level, there is nothing wrong with having feelings. You aren't doing it wrong. In fact, I think that you're doing very well. So, so just allow yourself to be awesome and give yourself the room to be that really cool person that you are. So I hope that this helped you. I deeply appreciate you. You do want a free reading, I'm going to give away 2 as soon as I hit 11,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment if you want to be a part of that. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. Thank you again. I deeply appreciate you all. And it's time for pile number 3. Pile number 3, my gorgeous angels. How are they feeling about you? Oh, I'm sorry. Rote. Foolish. All right. Pile number 3. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Justice. There are large cosmic things kind of in a place where things are going to even out. We have the 5 of Wands. You may be in some kind of conflict with somebody else. We have the 3 of Cups. And we have the 6 of Cups. For some of you, this might be some kind of love reading. But I think that it's not necessarily. I think that it is important that conflict is dealt with. And I feel like it is important that you're showing up in a way how you would want other people to treat you. Because if you are, then you're going to be fine. But justice can occasionally be ruthless, and we're all human beings. Occasionally we mess up. So make sure, but I say justice because this is a big deal, because like, if there is some place in which you have messed up, do what you can to own up to it, fix a mistake, patch a disagreement. If somebody is just relentlessly, confrontational with you and you can't do anything, there's going to be some justice. If some of you, it might go so far as maybe some kind of legal thing that might happen. Excuse me, just having to reposition in my seat. So now we have the 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups can be, I feel like the 3 of Cups might be, having fun, enjoying yourself. But I feel like there is something that needs to be taken seriously. And we have the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is nostalgia. 6 of Cups is looking back with fondness. It can be really loving relationships, really loving friendships, really so there is potentially an ability for there to be some kind of justice in relation to friendship, in relation to love, in relation to maybe somebody from our past. But however, if somebody has, harmed a friendship, will not, like, I feel like there's gonna be some consequences, because it's not necessarily that this person is going to get back at you. It's that the universe will correct. And there is a need to make sure that you are making the right choices. Because again, maybe it isn't you. Maybe you aren't the one who made a mistake or made a bad decision in But I feel like somebody acted in a way choosing something that was an illusion and really not paying attention to what the right choice was. And again, right choice is an interesting concept because it really just means the choice that will get us what we want versus the choice that we think will get us there but ultimately won't. Let's talk about the Three of Cups. For some of you, I don't always interpret as the Three of Cups as a third party, but for some of you, if there is some kind of romantic here, a situation where it was from the past, maybe there could have been a third party. Just not necessarily. It might just be a need to take things serious, or something that was not taken serious, causing conflict, causing a poor choice. But we do have the Empress. So the Empress is about being the best version of herself in order for us to bring creativity, bring fertility, bring good things to us. Now, again, this does not mind control other people. Everybody does have free will. But I feel like if you have focused on being your best self, somebody has made a choice that is going to lead to justice. We have the Queen of Swords. And this might end up being something that is possibly severe. I think that it's not necessarily a bad thing because I feel like it's just about justice. So if you have had somebody transgress on you, if you've had somebody who treated you badly in a friendship, treated you badly in a romantic thing, you know, there is somebody that's going to taste the business end of their own decisions. And this doesn't mean that you're going to do anything awful or hurtful. And again, like, if you need to make something right with somebody, make something right with somebody. So that better decisions can be made, so that decisions that move us towards what we actually want can be made. We have the Queen of Coins. Some of you, like, if there is an actual legal case, some of you might win money. This doesn't mean that everybody here is dealing with that, but I do feel like a few people are. But again, like, make sure that you are on the right side of things. We have the Six of Pentacles. So we have like a move away from like illusion and things not being clear to there being generosity, there being give and take. It could be that somebody will want to balance the scales with you. Maybe somebody who has not taken things seriously. Others, this might come from an outside source. What do you need to know right now, pile number 3? We have the Hanged Man. So something is going to be seen in a different light. Something that has been a source of conflict. We have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a victory, and it is also the truth. So the truth is going to prevail. The truth, even if maybe the truth is going to prevail. Like, so also make sure that you're being honest. Make sure that you're being straightforward. Straightforward is not the same as cruel. But I feel like somebody's integrity is going to pay off. We have the King of Wands and we have the Six of Wands. Again, victory, and the King of Wands King of Wands, King of Fire, King of Action. It could be like taking some kind of action. Ooh. If somebody has been really dysfunctional towards you, the universe is going to... They're going to even the scales. This doesn't necessarily mean that this person is going to, completely just decide, like, I feel like if this there's somebody that if there continues to be like toxic behavior, there's going to be an equal and opposite response. No one owes you anything. Don't wait around for an apology, explanation, or closure you may never receive. I also don't... I kind of don't like the devil so close to the Six of Cups. Just because I feel like there might have been some kind of taking of innocence in some way. But... you may never get an apology, but there is going to be some kind of justice. What do you need to know right now? Free spirit. And there is going to be an ability for you to free yourself from unhealthy connections, unhealthy cycles. True offering. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. I think that there's going to be some kind of justice that might make it a lot easier to release a burden that maybe somebody else has put on you. Elevator, rise above. So I think that you are being asked to take the high road. To know that there is some kind of justice that will be happening. The high road doesn't mean like continually be walked over or anything like that. But it can mean that in the face of toxicity, we don't act toxic. And I feel like whatever it is, this is going to require a great deal of courage. But I feel like you have shown courage. I feel like there's a lot of emotions tied up with this. Because I think that there is a lot of hurt here. So we have the seahorse. And often the seahorse represents like a good father. Can be like a father. We have the top, and that is maybe like having there being a lot of energy to like keep going, to keep balanced. But we also have the lotus, and the lotus is about coming from difficulty, coming from and transcending. So we have rise above, like I feel like there's going to be an aspect, an ability to transcend, to rise above, to really be strong and whole. We have the little home charm, and we have good as well as in, the preposition in. I think this is the second time the Emperor has come out. I feel like you're going to have an opportunity to really be in your power. And I think that it's going to give I think that it's going to give you the power to like release like truly negative things that are true, that happened, that, you know, probably were entirely not fair. But I don't think it'll be able to hold you down. So, because I feel a lot of pain here, for, like, I feel like somebody needs to tell you that they're proud of you. So, I'm proud of you. Spirit is proud of you. And it can be very difficult to rise from having been wronged. And it's okay to acknowledge that. And it's okay with not being okay with that. And it's okay to come to a point where you are able to release this person's power to have an effect on you. Because they just don't, they might not deserve it. Because nobody can deserve somebody that they treat poorly. So, I hope that this helps you, and I really wish you the absolute best on your journey forward. And I can see that there's been a lot of work and a lot of progress here. So, let me acknowledge it. So I hope that this helps you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away two as soon as I hit 11,000 subscribers. Just be subscribed and comment it, and you're in the running. Thank you again to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. If you want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. So my gorgeous pile number 4. What do you need to know right now, pile number 4? What do you need to know right now? The Hierophant. The 8 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles. Look, what you're working on, what you're trying to build, has the opportunity to be something that can last the test of time. Has this opportunity to be something extraordinarily successful. This is a success card. This is a success card. We do have the Hierophant, so it can be about the spiritual. It can be about the traditional. It can be about maybe commitment. So maybe this does require some kind of commitment. Some of you might be working towards maybe becoming like on top in a hierarchy. We have the World twice and the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like this particular one, it's like all the work that you are doing is going to pay off. And it's not going to pay off small, it's going to pay off big. I feel like you have experienced some heartbreak, and this maybe regarding something that you've put a lot of work in. Or maybe you're putting in a lot of work to move forward from something that caused a great deal of heartbreak for you. But there will be an end to the cycle, and an end to the cycle in which things will be leveled up for you. Leveling up, something that lasts the test of time, something that's very secure. 5 of Cups. I feel like, because we have the 5 of Cups, and that can be about loss and regret. But it also has the 2 of Cups still standing, which is, an ability for happiness, an ability to love and receive love, an ability to, so I think that you've hit a setback. I think that you've probably hit a very painful setback. But it didn't make all the work that you've done go away. by the way, major arcana, major arcana. So like, and there's a lot of success here. But right now, it could be hard to see that. Because I think that there may be a little bit of pain that can be blinding you to the options that you have. And I think it's pain because of these two. I feel like there will be an end to a cycle that needs to end. An end to a cycle in which, you know, like, the best thing that could happen is for it to end. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of hurt here, and that hurts. Be careful about the choices that you make right now, because you're on, no matter how hurt you're feeling right now, you're on the path to success. But, you know, you do have options, and, you know, you can choose things that aren't going to get you where you want to go. We have the Eight of Wands. I think that things are going to improve. I feel like maybe there will be a lot of communication. Maybe there will be a lot of action. We have the Ace of Coins. You will have a new beginning that will lead to a secure beginning that is going to lead to a secure existence. Clarity on the Eight of Pentacles and this 3. I feel like a lot of you are hurting right now. Because you're hurting right now, it might be hard to be optimistic. It might be hard to see where the big success is going to come from. But again, like, I feel like despite whatever has gone on, I feel like you haven't stopped building what you need to build. You haven't stopped working on what you needed to work on. Mountain, hill, reach your goals. Whatever your goals are, you're going to reach them. And maybe you're reaching them with a little bit of difficulty. Maybe you're reaching them having to overcome something. But you're going to reach that goal. You're going to be successful at it. I feel like there is a call for self-compassion here, to make sure that you're not beating yourself up about maybe not getting there faster, or beating yourself up about maybe something unfair that happened. It's like you're still doing all the actions to get you to the success that you want to do. But like, just because you're going to get there, just because you're going to have the right opportunity, doesn't mean that the road all along the way is going to be smooth. And it certainly hasn't been. Keep it being beautiful and kind. We have compassion. We have, and a second one came out, so I will throw that out there too. But I feel like you've been working very hard. You've been creating a lot of stability. You've been creating something that in the long term is going to give you an enormous amount of success, enormous amount of stability. And I feel like you have been compassionate and kind along the way, regardless of your experiences. Because unfortunately, compassionate and kind people occasionally deal with not compassionate, not kind people. Just because everybody gets to make choices. But let your freak flag fly. I can speak. Freak flag fly. So there is something that is special about you. There's something that you've been putting in the work for. And this is going, like, be compassionate to you. Allow yourself to be you. Realize that, even if you're in pain right now, you haven't lost all of the momentum that you built up. You haven't, like, I feel like you've been very faithful in working towards something awesome. And I feel like the universe really wants you to know that you haven't lost that. You're still on track. You're just hurting. So, free spirit, I feel like, again, you're gonna find some freedom. You're going to overcome what has caused you to have some regrets. Determination. Look, your determination, you're fiery, you're powerful. And not everything works out all the time, but your determination is absolutely gonna pay off. We have the mountain hill, and then we have the erupting mountain and hill. Oops, sorry for the big clap, but I feel like things are gonna seem like they're gonna accelerate for you all of a sudden, but they're not all of a sudden. They're from an enormous amount of work that has already been put in. So we have fish, that is abundance. We have the caduceus, which is about healing. So abundance, healing. We have the cowboy hat, which I feel like is like having confidence in yourself. We have the soft heart. I feel like you've been confident, you've been strong, you've maintained a soft, giving, loving heart. And I feel like you're undeniable. So I feel like we have kiss, so maybe there's some kind of romantic thing that's going to happen as well. But I feel like you're dealing with a setback. You're not dealing with losing all your progress. You're not dealing with being a failure. You're just dealing with some heartbreak and some hurt. And at the other side of that, there's going to be a very significant amount of success. We have the turtle. And again, like, the turtle is like slow and steady wins the race. And I feel like maybe you've dealt with a lot of difficulties in life. Maybe those difficulties have brought out a huge amount of determination in you. But I think that you should be respected for the amount of determination and power that you have shown. Because I feel like no matter what, you just keep taking one step forward. And like there's nothing that is really, like, maybe there's going to be some things that are a little bit hard to surmount, but there's nothing that is going to be able to keep you from because you are just going to keep going. We do have the cat, which can be inconsistent affection. It can be maybe a need to, like, it can even be a need to, like, vet people to see if they respect, your own boundaries, because cats do require that, do ask for that. And maybe, maybe they don't always receive it, but if you want closeness, that's how you get it. So just know that whatever pain you're going through right now, it is temporary. And it simply does not have the power to contain you. It's a moment to get through, but I understand, like, it might seem like you don't have options, or it might seem like you only have bad options. And even if you don't have ideal options, like, somebody just needs to tell you how incredibly powerful and strong that you are. And that everything that you have done is absolutely going to pay off. And maybe you only got there because you were undeniable. Maybe you wouldn't have got there if people could find a way to deny you. But whatever you've made of yourself, you should truly be proud. And I wish you the absolute best. Thank you so much. You do want to book with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamps. If you want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 11,000 subscribers. So be subscribed and comment, and you're in the running for that. And thanks again to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. You all matter. Deeply appreciate you all.